Hello, we begin here at 5 o'clock with continuing fallout over the leaked Supreme Court draft opinion and the prospect of the court overturning Roe v. Wade in a massive blow to abortion rights. States on both sides are already making moves in response. Yesterday, Oklahoma's governor signed one of the strictest abortion laws in the nation, while New Jersey codified a woman's right to an abortion into state law. And today, President Biden addressed whether a reversal on abortion may be just the beginning.
What are the next things that are going to be attacked? Because this MAGA crowd is really the most extreme political organization that's existed in American history.
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court marshal has been tasked by the Chief Justice to find whoever leaked the draft opinion, though legal experts say that person, even if caught, is unlikely to face prosecution if they had legitimate access to the documents. That leak has also sparked protests across this country, including right here in Portland. Last night, hundreds of people rallied to support abortion rights, though in a scene that's become all too familiar in the Rose City, some took advantage to cause damage downtown. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. While the protests were mostly peaceful, businesses are again dealing with vandalism and broken windows. Tim Gordon joins us downtown with a look at the aftermath. Tim?
And Laurel, I'll be honest, I've been around for a while and I'm certainly seen worse, but any damage is tough for a downtown that's trying to make a comeback. Last night there was graffiti, there was broken glass, and there was also some burning items thrown at the federal courthouse behind me. If you look at the early part of Portland's demonstration for abortion rights, it's a fine example of free speech in action. But later on, during marches around downtown, some in the crowd took advantage of the situation. There's the graffiti and broken glass to prove it. You can see the damage to a Starbucks in pictures provided by Portland police. And hardest hit was the Portland Exchange, a small grocery and cafe connected to a new Hilton-owned hotel. Vandals in the crowd broke out several windows there last night. Boarded up today, and the business closed up and waiting for repairs. Claudia Brown has seen this story many times.
Oh, I don't like it at all. And the way I think, which is probably totally wrong, I think these people have to be from out of town because people in Portland can't possibly act like that.
This much is for sure. Any extra damage is not what downtown businesses need right now. The Portland Business Alliance and others say downtown's been mounting a comeback and things are better than they've been. But they wrote, nothing could be more demoralizing and hampering to our collective recovery than the actions of a very few that happened after peaceful demonstrations last night. The leader of the Downtown Portland Neighborhood Association thinks police are understaffed to handle the bad players in the crowd. He wrote, unfortunately, those that escape being accountable for their actions may feel they can return sometime later and do it again. Completely unacceptable. This is a city that, on a fairly warm and sunny spring day, has a lot going for it, from the farmers market in the park blocks to a sunny spot for a lunch break in Directors Park. We talked to people out enjoying the day, including a downtown worker who says despite what sometimes happens at night,
if you spend time down here during the day, it's just a normal city.
We did reach out to PPB today for a response. We didn't get one. We do know that they made one arrest out of last night's destruction, and they are asking for anyone with tips or videos, pictures that might help them further investigate to get that information in. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, I know we're all tired of seeing the plywood broken glass out there. Tim Gordon, thank you, Tim. To an update this evening now on Portland's homeless crisis and some new numbers that confirm to some extent what we already knew, that there are more people living in tents and on the streets. Kylie Boshi joins us now. Kyle, this is the first official count of homeless people since 2019.
Indeed, the survey is called the point-in-time count. It's required by the federal government every other year. The survey counts the number of people experiencing homelessness in each community, and certainly no surprise, the Portland area has seen a significant jump in the numbers. The survey conducted in January found there are more than 5,000 people experiencing homelessness in Multnomah County alone. That's an increase of nearly 1,000 people from 2019. The last time the count was taken, it was delayed 1 year because of COVID. Many of the homeless, roughly 70%, were unsheltered, meaning they were living in tents, sleeping bags, or in cars. The rest spent the night in emergency shelters or transitional housing. The interim director of the Joint Office of Homeless Services cautioned the numbers are probably an undercount.
as with every point in time count, it's as accurate as we can be. We know it's this moment in time and not really indicative of the full range of folks who come in and out of homelessness over the course of a year.
It is important to note many shelters had to decrease the number of people they could accommodate during the pandemic. The full report is expected to be released this summer.
Thank you, Kyle. And homelessness, along with violence and the pandemic, are key issues Portland city leaders are dealing with right now. And city commissioners are back to in-person public meetings. From now, moving forward, city council will be hybrid, so that means you can still tune in online. Bryant Clerkley was there this morning, and Bryant, it's been quite a while since we've seen commissioners at these public meetings in person.
That's right, Laurel. It's been 2 years since in-person city council meetings, and today was the first for some commissioners elected during the pandemic. So when it comes to the future, there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Commissioner Mingus Mapps says he thinks they will keep elements of the hybrid public meetings so people can still tune in online. And a lot of the city employees are still working in a hybrid model. So Bruce Barnes showed up to the city council meeting today to give a public comment about the homeless crisis, and he says he prefers to do this in person.
I want to be here so I can look the elected officials in the eye, because they're the ones working for me. They work for us. This is we the people in America.
Masks are optional at the city council meetings, and members of city council can still attend virtually. It's their choice, according to the city council website. And Commissioner Mapps thinks a lot of city services will stay in a hybrid model because some things are efficient online.
No matter how it gets done, I think it's safe to say we are all in favor of more efficiency. Thank you, Bryant. A day after we held a debate with some of the Republican candidates for Oregon governor, a brand new poll is giving fresh insight into that race. Now, according to Nelson Research, former House Republican leader Christine Drazan appears to be the frontrunner with 18.9% support. Bob Tiernan in second, 14%, and Dr. Bud Pierce third at 9.5%. Well, take a look at this because 27%, I thought we had the number there, we don't, 27% of Republican primary voters who say they were surveyed are undecided still. This poll surveyed 514 likely Republican voters from April 29th to May 2nd, and Election Day, of course, is Tuesday, May 17th.
Turning to the pandemic, Oregon's hospitals are seeing fewer COVID cases these days, but they're still at capacity. Galen Etlin shares the impact and outlook ahead.
On the peaceful campus of Salem Health, staff and families are juggling challenges.
I couldn't even believe it.
Linda Briggs' husband, Michael, fell and broke his hip in Newport, but the hospital there had to find him treatment here in Salem.
There were no beds for my husband, who laid in the emergency room with a broken hip. And they actually said that some patients were sent to Idaho.
Experienced delays like we've never experienced.
Dr. Leslie Ogden runs Samaritan Pacific Communities Hospital in Newport and Lincoln City.
Critical access hospitals on the coast. We are the difference between a good outcome and a bad outcome.
Like in many hospitals, hers faces ongoing staffing shortages and an influx of patients who delayed care during the pandemic. Hundreds of patients statewide are also waiting to be discharged to lower levels of care, like nursing homes, which don't have enough staff either.
Very full. Many days we're at capacity.
Dr. Renee Edwards with OHSU is seeing the same problem, with many regionally diverted patients coming her way.
What sort of solutions would help you?
We would rather make sure that you're getting the preventive care that you need and the ongoing care that you need to prevent things from getting worse.
Our patients are sicker.
Dr. Melinda Muller with Legacy Health says delayed care leaves a mark.
What can people be doing to maybe reduce the impact of this domino effect on the medical system?
Preventive care is still really, really important. There are things that we're doing.
A little trouble with the end of Galen's